Previously we have seen the concepts of abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism and inheritance. So till now whatever examples we have seen were based on real world examples. So we have seen dog class, we have seen the states and behavior of dog class. We have also seen some of the states and behavior of students class, and we could have also considered car class and written down its states and behavior, and we can convert easily them into the Java programming. So these classes, dog, student and car classes, they are god created classes, and we have seen dog classes, states and behavior of the dog classes. So these states and behavior which we have considered, or the class that means dog class, these are created by God. So dog class is created by God. Breed, color, these states are also created by God, and behavior, bark, run, these are, everything is created by God. But what happens in real world when you are going to create any application in Java? You are not you will not take the classes created by God. So you have to become the creator of the class. You have to create, you have to think, conceptualize, and you have to create your own class. You have to create your own states and behavior. So let me explain you, or let me try to explain you how classes are conceptualized in Java. So I'm creating one class and naming it as maths operations. So yeah, so the thing I was trying to explain just now is that this is dog class created by Almighty God. This breed, color, legs, all are created by God. But in real world example, whenever you are creating any Java application, you have to become the creator of the class, and you have to create the states and behavior. God will not going to create, you will going to create. So I have made one class maths operation.java. So let me create my own states and behavior. Okay, for example, int first number, so num1, int num2, int sum, int result. Now as I am the creator, I can decide on the states and behavior, where I want to keep them as static behavior or static state, or non-static state or behavior. So right now let me consider that num1 and 2 are static, so their value will be same across the object. So static int num1, static int num2. So these are the numbers on which I am going to perform some maths operation. So when these numbers are static, then if I am going to calculate their sum, it should also be static. So I am making this as static. Int result, I am keeping it as non-static on purpose. I'll explain it later. So this one is static global variable, same static global variable, static global variable. This is non-static global variable. Now I have to create the behaviors. So I am creating one behavior as sum. So I am making this as static because the behavior sum will act in the same fashion across all the objects. So whatever object I'll create of this class, so the behavior sum in it will behave in the same fashion. Okay, that means the logic or the or the body of the method will be same in all the objects. It will calculate the sum in same fashion. So that is why I am making this as static. And let me create one more behavior, public void do operation based on value or based on number, num1 or num2. I am making this as non-static. You'll get why I made this as non-static. You'll going to find out soon. So in this method, void sum, it's returning me void value. So I'll just print the sum inside this method only. So sum will be num1 plus num2. Let me give the value of num1 num2 here itself. This is 3, this is 5. Okay, and I'll print sum. And in this behavior, as I am the creator of the behavior of this class, let me define the behavior as if num1 is 5, then do sum, otherwise do multiplication. So as I am the creator of this class, not God, so no offense to God here. So as I am the creator, I can define the behavior in my own way. So let's implement the logic. If num1 equal to 5, and I am storing the resultant value in result variable, not sum, then it will be num1 plus num2, else result equal to num1 into num2. Okay, let me print the result also. Sum is result, and what I am calculating here, that is multiplication. Multiplication is concatenating, I am concatenating it, so it is a result. So let me create the object of this class in main method. And one by one I'll call. So this is, I want to access, first of all I want to access static method in I want to access static method inside another static method. So this static and non-static stuff I am discussing in the upcoming session. So right now I'll directly access it. You're going to learn how you access static non-static stuff in static and non-static method respectively. So right now I am calling it, and for non-static ref dot do maths operation. Okay. Just don't get panic here how I am accessing directly or how I am accessing using reference variable. Just right now just see the logic here. So in the first line it will go here and it will print the sum, that is 8. It should print 8 here, and secondly it will go here, it will check number is 5, no it's not 5, so it will multiply, so it should come as 15 in the second line with this print statement. Multiplication is 15, so output should be 8 and the next line should be multiplication is 15. Let's check whether I am right or wrong. Okay, so this is how you are going to create your own classes in Java. So if I'll change the value of num1 equal to 5 here, so in now both this method will calculate sum C. Okay, so that's why I have considered this as non-static behavior, because in every object this behavior can change, can have different value, but sum is static because in all the objects this behavior will be same. So behavior is the combination of the logics or the lines inside it. Similarly, this behavior means the combination of the logics or the sequence of line present inside this method. So this is how you create your own Java class. You have to become the creator of the classes, you have to create their states, you have to create their behavior based on your understanding and based on the application which you are developing.